Today I'm going up to that peak up there and beyond, far beyond, and in between this peak and that peak, and show you something with total confirmation it is what I'm saying it is, and that a few people that I've spoken to who thought it was to the east, that they're off, and I'll show them, prove to them without a doubt why they were off, and share a little bit of the history on this area, this trail, this canyon, the canyon next to it, the people that walk these trails, the people that made them what they are, and a few of the stories from the colorful days of the San Gabriel Mountains in the East Fork. First I've got to get up there. There's a trailhead back there, the riverbed. But here's a rarity in the San Gabriels. Look at this little guy. Look at this. He's so neat. Look at him. Horned toad. He's wonderful. Look at that. Oh, little guy. It's wonderful. I have a video where I went down this canyon last time up here, and I'll tell you why when I get to the top. There was reason behind my sanity. But I know there to be a mine there. I know there to be a mine there. And I know there to be a mine or a cave back here. And I know there to be a mine over here. These I'll show you another time. This one, I'm going to try to get to it today. So the reason I'm up here is to fill another gap in the history books. Correct a mistake a couple of my friends were making. And what is common thought in the East Fork, with proof to back it up. But if you guys aren't familiar with the Sedley Peck video series, 8 videos talking about Sedley Peck, he grew up in the canyon east of me, the East Fork, and you can hear his voice firsthand telling the stories about all the old colorful characters. I am going to put another one on YouTube. I believe it's another first. That leaves one place. I found everything on the Sedley Peck video, I believe. I've found them all except for 2 of the mines and one of the cabins. But one of the cabins is just legendary. I don't know if it ever existed or if it still exists. 4 or 5 people, none of them had photos. Said they'd been to it, but none of them had photos, which is kind of strange. But right here, I'm going to give you the history on this and your first look over the other side. And if I can make it down to another historical site that I found down below, I'll go. I can make it down, I know, but if I can make it back up, I don't know. I can't make it out that canyon, it's way too thick. So if I cannot get down and back, I'll put a link to another video where 9 years ago I got to that site. 8 or 9 years ago. Give me a chance to set up and I'll tell you all about this place. Looking down below there, near Susanna Canyon, which is behind me, Ernest F. Fricke built an orchard in the sky, high on a mesa above the East Fork. He was a former miner turned farmer who once had several gold prospects up in the canyon. Back in 1908, he took a placer claim on a mountainside where his orchards now grow. I have found that placer mine 8 or 9 years ago. While mining, he discovered an all-year spring and took out an agricultural lease in 1921. He grew apples, figs, pears, walnuts, almonds, as well as bee stands to collect the honey. A guy named Ed Lattin, son of gold rush miner, lived in a cabin near Fricke's ranch. Now I have undisputable proof this is what I'm claiming it to be. And I'm going to take you down and show it to you. But first I'm going to show it to you on a map. Okay, first let me explain something to you. Over here, you're looking at the East Fork. The East Fork is on the other side of that big last ridge across the Great Divide, the new divide. And everybody thought that above the East Fork, a lot of people thought it was the flat, just above the below the old fire station, which is now removed, and Coldwater Canyon. But I never thought that flat was big enough for an orchard to hold all of those trees. Besides that, I've walked those lands back and forth, and to this date have not found any spring, much less a year-round spring. Well, I found 3 springs down here. And as for being above the East Fork, a couple videos ago, last video I believe, I went down this. This is also known as the East Fork. This is the East Fork. I went down that all the way to the bottom. It's hard getting out, hard. If I would have had one of those spots or reaches, I wouldn't have hit that button. Now, this is the East Fork of Susanna Canyon. I found that on a map and I was like, whoa! It was a Bill and Ted moment. That right there said something. Now I found pipe down here too, where they're bringing water up from the spring down there. And the spring down there, in some places, this time of year, it didn't snow back right here. These were not replenished by any snow by any means. Yet, year after year after year, I've looked back here, and they're always green. They're always green. They're always springs, oases. Look up there. There's steps. They're always. There are five in this canyon alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where they all merge together. There's a big one on the other side of this I want to check out. I think the best way to do that though would be just follow the ridge all the way around and come in over there. Back to this. Now on your maps, let's see, San Gabriel River, it'd be right in here somewhere. Let me see. Shoemaker Canyon, okay, I have history on that too. Graveyard Canyon, okay, here we are, right here. Susanna Canyon, there's a mine I showed you guys in my last video right here. But where it comes up and branches off, this is the East Fork. See that? East Fork. Right there, East Fork, not this East Fork, East Fork, Susanna Canyon. High above it, Doe Flat. Orchard in the Sky. The placer mine is over here. The 3 springs that feed it are right there. Everything fits, everything matches. So today we go down in there. But down there he grew apples, figs, pears, walnuts, almonds, and bees to keep them. Now, last time I was here I said that looks like it used to be some sort of pond. That might have been where he had some water pooled up, diverted the springs down here, there are 3 of them, diverted the springs over there to a pool to, I'm not sure how he did it, but he had bees. Now, my friends and I have always wondered, why are there fig trees everywhere up here? You know, it's not a native plant. Well, those fig trees probably, unmistakably, probably came from here. He probably went down, sold them, or gave them to people, or they came up and just raided the crops. And there's figs all up and down the East Fork. There are walnuts still growing to this day in Wrightwood. There's an apple tree that gives all new value to the apple tree I found years ago and brought it back to life, resurrected it. That apple, that could be a descendant of this crop right here. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's Graveyard Canyon, Doe Flat, Orchard in the Sky. And I'm going to show you how I've come to that conclusion. So from there, there's no way down. I mean, that stuff's all over your head. It's real rough. You could do it, but you're gonna get a million ticks on you. You're gonna get pretty torn up. So I came over here, and I'm looking to ride this ridge down if I can find a way. But from here, it looks like I found a possible old camp. Let's see. Maybe. That clearing there might have been something at one time. Doesn't look natural. That might be where that other guy had his little homestead. I'm still working on finding a way down. It's just too steep in most places. Whoa. Ooh. Oh, shoot. Getting out, it's going to be a different story. Or she. When you're alone like this, it's always a good idea to stop and listen, making sure you're not being stalked. There's a lot of bears in this area, and mountain lions too. Oh, but I don't remember seeing this mound. I wonder if it's out here. But there's some dead land back there. One way to find out and get some high ground. One side. Let a rabbit through. Here we go. Looks like we made it. Whew. Can you imagine the amount of ticks on me right now? I'm a tick-tocking mofo. Get off me. Look at this. This is a spot I've seen on Google Earth for many moons. Look at this. This was undoubtedly the orchard in the sky. Look, even the dirt. Look at this. Even the dirt is different. Not all rocky. It's some fine soil. Look at that. Look at that. It's nice and moist. Even the dirt's been altered. I don't think there's anybody out there who can deny this is what I'm saying it is. I don't think there's anybody who can say that. Look at that. Something up there. I'll zoom in on it with my camera, my other camera, but I can see something down there. Looks like some kind of rain catcher. Look at this. Sir, we're at your orchard. In your name, we're here. Remembering you and what you did, your work. Incredible. Incredible. Look at this. So cool. This does look like it used to hold water. Yeah, the dirt's all mushy, soft. Could be a spring directly underneath me. Check it out, guys. I'm down in it. Or down on it. Get down on it. Brr, brr. Orchard in the sky. Even the dirt has been altered. Not by ancient aliens, but by man. I mean, there's not a lot of rocks. It's not all rocky. It's been tilled. Probably by mule. I bet you mules pulling this, like Little House on the Prairies style, like Gunsmoke, with those 6 or 7 or 8 furrows behind it, and just maybe old Ruth. Old Ruth was up here working his ass off. Who knows? But the dirt has been worked. Look at this. Let's see. That's the finger I came down on. I came across that, up that. There's Mount Wilson way back over there. But look, protected by wind. There, wind could come up here, but you're in a bowl. It's gonna catch all the rain. You got a spring here. You got a spring here, here, and here. 3 springs. When you're over there coming down, you can hear that one trickling. So that's a year round. But supposedly there was another one over here. That might have been it. I don't know. I figure that was 100, 150 years ago, something like that. Close to it. So you're gonna get the full tour, and I'm gonna deal with the poison oak getting out of here. I don't want to go back through that, up that, back down that way. I'm just gonna shoot straight down, hit the riverbed, and whoosh, blast out of here. Now right there, yeah, you got this like cathedral wall here. We were camped below it right there, and it took us 3.5 hours to get from there to there, to get up there. But we cut a lot of it, so I just have to blaze my way from here to here, which I don't see it being too bad. Where it gets real bad is back here where a lot of the springs come in. But back here, let's see. Let's see, right about, let's see. Right about in that area, you have a Shoemaker Canyon dropping down in the East Fork. At the bottom of that, there's a guy that ran a mine there. I haven't found that mine yet, and across from it, there was one called, let me think of it, it'll be going across the screen. I haven't found that one either. I believe I found one. I don't think it was that one, but it's recorded that that guy was pulling out up to 10 ounces of gold in a day. So there were a lot of colorful characters. I've shown you most of their properties, most of their mines, most of their cabins. Just to name a few, you got Will Heaton, you got Sedley Peck, of course, you got Trogdon, you got Stanley and Miller, the mine up there. You got Tom Vincent, you got Bogus Smith. Nobody knew what his real name is. They just sure as hell wasn't Smith, so he was called Bogus Smith. And he camped in an area right below the Shoemaker mines. Further up, I found the cabin remains, just the floor, and a few of the rocks still standing, of the Hellengon cabin. That's above Iron Fork, before Fish, right in that area. Numerous characters. Louis Seno, the Indian. You got a bunch of people that live down here. Well, this is more of that. This is added on to that. This branches off the East Fork, but this is still in the same history. And the guy had the mine down here. I'm going to show you that mine. While working that placer mine, he worked his way up the hill, probably looking for more, or where it came from. Undoubtedly, because it's in this gulch, undoubtedly, he came up that gulch, and he probably found that spring that ran year-round, and led him to have this orchard in the sky. And the East Fork, it's above the East Fork. Yes, not this East Fork, but that East Fork. There's an East Fork, Susanna Canyon. You can see it on your maps. There's so much history up here. And all those guys are forever bound with this mountain range. It's pretty neat. The heyday was, I'd say, 1890 to about 1930. 40 years. Now, I've had my heyday up here since 1980 to present day, and it's starting to fade, but I'm still finding cool stuff. That was a really cool hike. Church's chicken hot sauce, albacore. Some crackers. Avocado. Let's add to his orchards with an avocado pit. I'd be very surprised if the guy that had this orchard didn't sit right here looking down on Graveyard Canyon, looking down on the San Gabriel Mountains. You got, well, you can't see Baldy, but you can see Ontario Peak. You can see the Big Dip by Ontario Peak. Baldy's hidden behind Rattlesnake here. But you got a great view. I can't imagine him not sitting right here in the same spot and enjoying lunch. Probably snacking on walnuts, almonds, apples, figs, maybe a mountain sheep steak. And probably just remembering finding the mine, and then a year or two later working his way up and finding this and walking all the way down into town to get some permits and some licenses for agriculture, and then bringing all those seeds and up here and working that dirt, the mule. It's a lot of work. But I can't imagine he just didn't sit here either at sunrise or sundown and think about everything that's going on around him. He could look down there and see the cathedral wall of Graveyard Canyon. And you can tell there's a lot of work going on down there at one time or another, as well as further on down the river. But this is the only mine I've found history about. I found this mine a long time ago with my nephew. Can't believe it's been so many years already. But they're all those guys are, their names are just interwoven with San Gabriel Mountains. Now in modern day times, you have John W. Robinson, a few other writers too, but mainly Robinson. You hear Robinson, boom, you picture trails and trailheads, and your mind just starts just branching out. This trail leads to this. This is found there, this mine. It's amazing. And many years ago now, I got I can't remember if it was a text, a phone call, or an email. I believe it was from, no, it wasn't from Missy. It was from somebody else. And they said, hey, John W. Robinson's doing a book signing in a city that starts with an A. I'm drawing a blank. Over towards Pasadena way. Anyway, Arcadia? Not Arcadia. Anyway, and if you want to go, it'd be pretty cool. So I went, and that's where I met Missy and her boyfriend, I think Jeremy? It was Jeremy. And she told them, see, I told you he'd be here. It was pretty cool meeting her. I've been following her. She's been following me for years. But Missy's one of the names that will be linked with the San Gabriels. If you're not familiar with her, look up Missy Adventures, San Gabriel Mountains. She's been dormant for a while. She does Instagram, but I haven't seen her out much. But when I got in line, I met a bunch of different authors from books up here. But when I met Robinson, I was talking to him, and one of the guys says, hey, this is the guy that's turning your books into videos. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, remember I telling you about a guy that's gone through all of your books, and he's showing them all, and he gives referrals to your books? He goes, this is the guy. And he goes, nice to meet you, young man. He shakes my hand. I think he was late 80s, almost 90 at the time. It wasn't long before he passed on. But when he shook my hand, I said, hey, I got something for you, Mr. Robinson. And I reached in my pocket and pulled out a Leatherman, and I gave him a Leatherman, a blue one. multi-tool. And he goes, "What's this?" And I said, "Hey man, for all the stuff you've done for us, for showing us everything, I'd like to give this to you." And he stopped the signing and he turned around to the guy and he goes, "Hey, look at this, look at this. This is the first time in all the years I've been doing this. Everybody wants something from me." And this guy came here with his daughter. My daughter was small at that time, to give me something. You're the first person to give me something. He goes, "You know what? Give me one of those books." And he reached over and the guy gave him his crown jewel book, the San Gabriel's, the big thick one. And he goes, "Were you gonna buy a book?" I said, "Yeah." Want to buy this one?" I said, "I don't know if I have enough for that one on me." He goes, "Well, yeah, you make it." He goes, "How much you got on you?" It's $30. He goes, "It's yours." He signed it to me and he gave it to me. And he goes, "Here, take one of these too." And he gave me this other pamphlet. And he started looking at the knife and he goes, "Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you." And then I asked him, "Out of all the hikes you've done, what's your favorite one?" And he goes, "I've been asked that the last 30 years. And he goes, I can't pick one." And when I think about it myself, I really can't pick one either. I have a few favorites, but I can't pick one. But modern day guys are going to be related to this too. Like I say, Missy, Kevin Brown for sure. He's left the mountains. He's San Bernardino Mountains. I believe he bought a place in Big Bear. Kenny, prospector up here. Just to name a few. Howard, he's a truck driver now. Let's see. Just off the top of my head, Susan and James, their names are up here forever. That's just to name a few. But wherever I meet people, I've met people in Moscow airport who related me to this mountain. "Hey, you're the guy from San Gabriel Mountains." He goes, "What are you doing over here?" I said, "Fly fishing." He goes, "Fly fishing?" "Yeah, fly fishing." But it's pretty cool to be among those same names. I've shown you a lot of places up here. But everything ends. Anyway, I'm going to finish up lunch and take you down and show you this mine, and I'm going out the bottom way. I'm not going back. Denied. Oh. Damn. Oh. That is exhausting. You can't see anything. Hold on to everything, just pulls out. Yeah. Ah. Whew. Whoa. Oh. Ah. These hold on good. These plants don't pull out. Oh. Oh man. Talk about places with rattlesnake written all over it. Dang, I came right into a waterfall. Right into a waterfall. No choice. Let's go down. I can't go down that one. Let's go down this one. Try not to dislodge this big rock in back of me. And then down one more. At least. Oh man, this sucks. Oh, look at that. It pulls right out. Useless. Another one. Right here. Down in it. I think some of the hardest stuff's in back of me now. Knock on wood, bro. Whoa, man down. Whoa. Oh, gravity. Gravity put me right back up. That was a back slapper on that rock. Now I don't want to go too low. I'm going to miss my target. But I've still got 400 or 500 feet of elevation. At least 3 or 4. Oh, 3 or 4. I dropped in over there. Came across that down that gully. Took that waterfall all the way down. Came across this way. I believe what I want is right down here. But I'm almost spent. I've given it everything I got. I don't have much more left. I'm beat. So I'm hoping this is it. If not, I'll get down there, get a perspective on where I am. Determine, look at all the scratches and rash. Determine whether I can make it or not. I hope I didn't miss it. After all that, I worked my way to a cliff back there further, way back, and had to drop down. I couldn't go over anymore. And I came down this falls, and there's graveyard. I'm back on the ground. I'll be on the ground. A matter of 20 feet, 15 feet. I'm gonna go upriver about 1 click and climb back up a little ways to complete my video. Those of you who have done graveyard the past year or so know how it is. It's just impenetrable. It's taken me about a half an hour to go a few hundred feet, but I'm up here. I can tell by that old oak and that over there. If I go around this corner, I'll be real close. There just is no getting through this. It's just too thick. I've gone way too far. I kept saying one more bend, one more bend, one more bend. I'm so delirious I could have even passed it. I'm headed back. But there will be a link in the details to see the guy's mine before we knew what it actually was. So I will never do this hike again. This is a long, brutal hike. I've got to get me some water and start the long hike out here. These looks like a skull. I thought that was a skull sitting there. I've been working for about 45 minutes to an hour now to get out of here. And I'm barely back to the place we camped last time. Anna and Scott were right here. Let's see. Arizona was over there. Iron Girl over here. Robert was over there. I was over there. Steve and Jen. Steve and Jen were where? I think they were right here. Yeah, this was our camp last time. Right here at the cathedral wall. That's the... I don't know why I call it that, but it looks like an old cathedral wall. I don't know. That's the one we could see from way up there when we were way up. When I was up above it, and now I'm definitely down in it. Now I gotta get out of here. So from here, it's still hard, but nothing like him backing me. It's relatively decent getting out of here. Last time we were here, this Mexican dude, Hunter, came down that fall. He came over there. He came down that fall. And he showed us pictures of some bears, a couple of bears that he hunted back here. He had tags. He was all legal, legit. But he came down that. I stopped and filled up my bottle of water and my canteen. Got some cold water in me. I've slept up there one time, a long time ago. Look, Steve, it's flowing. It's flowing, buddy. Last time we were here, it wasn't flowing. Last time we were here, this was dry. And yeah, I've given up staying dry. I'm walking right on in it. I fell in back there, and when I fell in, I was so concentrated on staying in one piece, I didn't realize I'd lost my hat. I had to backtrack about a quarter mile to get my hat. I was going into some bush like this, and I ducked my head down so the hat would clear the way, and there was no hat. I started getting some spinach to the skull. so I had to go back and get my hat. That sucked. I'll never come back in this canyon. I know I always say that, but it's just too thick, too overgrown. What a wonderful place. Perhaps I'll be back again. Who knows? One never knows. The river's flowing the whole way. It's flowing. There's the bridge right up ahead. There's the power line. That mountain's on the other side of the road. Now figure from 3:30, so 9:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I think I got up here till 3:30. So 9, 10. See 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 6.5 hours. Easy. It's this canyon's not easy. Coming down over, dropping down into the orchard in the sky was not easy. You got to watch yourself because you're going to it keeps edging you towards cliffs. There's a lot of cliffs and it's really slippery. And as it gets warmer, of course, the snakes and the ticks are going to increase. I came across one racer in this canyon, that's it. He didn't bother me, I didn't bother him. But ticks, I bet you, and poison oak, look at that, it's ridiculous. I gotta go home and take care of that. What you do is you put Dawn soap, cold water, wash with Dawn soap and scrub it really, really, really good. And then get out and then wet your arm, the area is infected, and put Dawn soap on there and let it set. Just let it set on there, let it dry on there, let it go crusty while you're watching TV. Watch a couple episodes, at least one episode of Gunsmoke. And then go back in the shower, watch again, and it will actually get rid of it. Even full-blown rash, it will actually get rid of. Dawn soap, it's good stuff. 10Ec 2 or whatever that's called, that stuff works too, but they're pretty much the same thing. So I wouldn't recommend to do this one on your own, unless you really know the canyon, and you are totally okay with the fact that something could happen to you. I mean, I was stupid to do it, but you know me, I'm stupid, I'd say. I'm confident, sometimes overconfident. I'm always raw dogging life. With the rattlesnakes and everything. One day the fate will catch me, but who knows, maybe that's the day it's supposed to. Anyway, I'm almost back to my car. Raw dogging life. This albino. Watch. Albino frog, white. Crocus. I'm believing that fin on the car on the right is the top of my truck and back of the dumpster. I think I parked facing this way. I hope that's it. If not, I'm in for a very long walk. No ties. That's my truck. You know what that means? Full circle, baby. Full circle. Full on circle. Put in your quarter, happy. You get on the carousel. You ride the ride up and down, round, full circle. I'm back.